Welcome back to another round table debate. Myself, AGT, we've got Matisse, BH Stricto and Fuad in the building. Top six, it's that time. We're in August, guys. The season starts next Friday. Burnley versus Manchester City. They obviously won it last year, but let's do our top six and maybe give an honourable mention to number 7 as well, because that is a European spot. I think we've all got them written down, so there's not too much deliberation here. So, BH, kick us off. Like, comment and subscribe, of course.
Do you know what? I'm backing my team.
Wow.
Oof. So,
I'm backing
hang on.
my team. Arsenal.
Those are always
To win the
people's
league.
last words.
Do you know, it's hard.
What's changed from this season to last year to make you the winners?
City have got weaker. It's not so much we got, like...
I feel like that's an illusion, though.
You think so?
Everyone thinks
Didn't they do that
and
last
then
year when they
just
always
offloaded
Sterling,
Yeah, that's what we all
Zinchenko,
said
Jesus?
They
last
always
year,
get
bro.
weaker, but we just don't know what Pep's actual plan is.
Yeah,
Always jiggy-majiggy something.
You see the Rico Lewis pop out of nowhere.
Rico Lewis Walker.
A wild academy graduate appears.
Yeah.
Like a
Kyle
Pokemon.
Walker.
Spawns.
No,
Still there.
what's his future
At the
saying?
minute,
Still
it's
there.
agreed, but they haven't agreed a fee, I don't think.
But even still,
You know, I
Vardy
think-
was coming in.
God. You see what Messi
You
done
don't
to
really
him?
sound
Julian
very...
Alvarez. We'll
do you
see
know what-
more.
do you know
We'll
what?
probably see
There's no
more of
chest
Julian
to it.
Do you
Alvarez.
know what?
You don't really believe it. Like, you know,
Do you know what?
Foden.
Do you know what? Let me
stick with it.
Honestly,
Ironing board chat.
honestly, it's because it's not so much of us; it's because of City, and of course a little bit of us as well. We've injected a few signings in there, like I said earlier, competitions and positions. Yeah, I'll go for us. I'll go for City. I'll go for United.
Third.
Third.
Tight. Manchester United
This
we're
is the
talking
one
about.
now. This is the one now. Villa.
What?
Villa.
Fourth.
Where did
Yeah.
that come from?
Villa.
Wow.
The Emery.
Have we got a doctor on site? I know this is DR Sports, but we
Explain
might need
yourself,
a doctor.
please. How?
Because we need this
How
man
do
to have his head
Villa
exam-
get in the
He's
Champions
sweating,
League
look.
this year? Unai
He's
Emery.
absolutely not confident.
You must believe in Unai. I know you didn't even believe in Unai like this when he was at Arsenal.
I mean, Unai got me dashing my season ticket. to be
Hey,
fair.
listen.
I remember. It was him.
Did you pick it up?
It was-
You must have.
Hey.
You must have.
No, you dashed that.
I can't believe you
Someone
dashed
tried
your
to give it back to
season
me.
ticket,
But
man. Oh, wow.
the signings, man, I think Diaby is an excellent signing, bro.
You would
and
have
it's
him at
not, and it's not just
Top 4? Above of Liverpool?
dark horse. Above Liverpool, yes, above Liverpool. I think Liverpool going for a transition. You lot would agree with that, like.
But this has to work now for Liverpool this season.
Yeah, it has to work, but it's still a transition, and it has to is depending on several factors. It's not you lot having to push it. I think it depends on other clubs.
The funny thing is, I actually think Villa will do
Villa will
quite
do
well
great.
this season as well.
I think they're
I'm
most
saying
likely
that,
out of the
but
teams that
fourth?
are up there to
But
stabilise
the,
in terms
the,
of
the thing I don't want to do is
Fulham.
because they've signed what people deem to be good players, that all of a sudden that means they're going to rise up the tables. You still have to get that to click. And I feel like Unai Emery last season came in from what Gerrard had in the relegation zone, raised the levels of that, took the team to, in my opinion, where they should be. And now you've brought in players that are meant to rise that level. For me, I'm like, if they finish in the Europa League spots,
Yeah, I'd
fantastic
agree.
season.
Yeah.
It's an improvement on even what you've
I
done
think
this
they
year.
will. I think they will shock. I think honestly, I think they will shock teams.
Champions League is kind of saying they're almost going to be what Newcastle were last
Yeah.
year. And I don't know if I can look at them. But then again, at the start of last
Did you
season,
expect
who would
Newcastle to be there
that's
last
the
season?
thing. So I'm kind of like,
There's always one that pops out.
But Villa
there
do have European football.
So you're saying
that's
to
the
us,
difference.
and
They've
we're
got
all saying this now, you're saying that will not affect their Premier League form, their European travels on the Thursday, which we're going to have to deal with as well, by the way.
I mean, it does. It does. They ain't had European football in how long? Is their squad big enough? Is there enough quality? And I think
the midfield, you could definitely say.
You're saying yes to all those answers.
Well, Watkins, you know, like, well, if you look at it, they one of the best keepers. Like, take away Mings in that defence. They're actually a very decent
Shots,
side when you
yeah.
actually. I think a lot of teams will be in for a shot this season with Villa. I'm
Fairs.
being honest.
But fourth, that's a lot of chess.
It's a lot of. Do you know? Would you say it's more crazy Villa finishing top 4 than Arsenal winning the league?
I'd say they're equally quite mad.
Yeah.
concepts.
I like that.
Equally mad.
I'll go with that one. I
Equally
like that,
wild.
yeah.
Sitting on the fence. No, listen, that's a big shout.
Who
So-
rounds off your...
And then, okay, so the rest of it is Liverpool and then
thanks.
Newcastle.
Yeah. So hang on, no Chelsea or Tottenham.
So United
Say it
is not
again.
even top 6.
Arsenal, City,
going on?
United.
Okay. So
Villa-
it's Chelsea who's not.
No, Chelsea.
Chelsea and Tottenham, nowhere for you. Wow.
Real rivalry then, yeah.
Who are you giving
Say
seventh
no more.
then, just whilst we're
Well,
here?
then let's give it to Chelsea.
Let's give it to Chelsea. Wow. Brilliant.
Participational.
Yeah.
Let's give it to Chelsea. Let's give it to Chelsea.
Pity.
I just don't see it with
Alright.
Chelsea anymore. Like, I know it's easy to say, like, you know, what's happened over the last 2 years with them, but
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Alright.
There used to be a time you look at Chelsea and you feel us. I just don't see it, Matisse.
What do you
Well, let's get yours. 1 to 6.
Man City top for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have to prove that that should change with them. They have to be their own demise because Pep is the guy. He is the leader of leagues.
Yep.
He wins every season most of the time.
That would
So,
be a new record if they do that, by the way. the
4P, yeah,
4P.
no one done it before, and I think that'll be a motivation for them as well. And
Yeah.
there's always something to motivate them. I think with the new players, they always add in a couple. They're going to sign someone else.
Yeah.
I think second, it's between Man United and Arsenal at the moment, as it stands, with the transfer window so far that I've seen. I'm probably going to edge it to Man United. I'll put Arsenal third. I just feel like the signings that they've made, they have to compete. You know, everybody else has tried to test City. Liverpool have tried it, you know, and done it once. Arsenal have tried it. Even under Pep, if I want to be cheeky, I'll say that Chelsea have won a league under Conte in Pep's first season. But Man United have not been there once.
Cheeky.
With all the money that they've spent, with Mount coming in, Amrabat could come in, Onana in,
Are
Højlund
you
in,
saying that they're
Sancho
papering
looking
over
good
the
in
cracks from last year?
pre-season.
So technically they should be more balanced and fight a bit more.
I think I just feel like Man United, they've been adding quality every summer, whether it's Varane, they've been adding
Casemiro,
Casemiro, they've been
Lisandro.
adding Martinez, they've now added a couple players again. They've been there's been increments of just improvement constantly. They reached 2 cup finals last season. I feel like Man United now, they should be taking that next step. I'm not saying they're going to do any damage on City, but they should be challenging. They should be looking at Arsenal last season and saying,
That should be
we don't
us.
need the perfect squad. They had Holding as their backup right side centre back, and Nketiah as their backup striker. You know, they should be looking at that. El Neni was back up to Party. Up until January, they didn't have Kivior, they didn't have Jorginho. So Man United should be looking at that and thinking, we can be the challengers. And
But
obviously,
United have added quality
they have.
each year, but I don't think
They've
they finished
beat-
above. I don't think they finished above Arsenal.
No, but the thing is I feel like Ten Hag has now come in.
Yeah.
And I feel like
not
last year
Solskjaer
was
no
almost
more.
the first year they had the right coach.
Yeah.
You saw the first year where they were kind of, I feel like, flexible, to be fair. In some games you saw them playing attacking football. Some games you saw them kind of shut up. Second half of the season, I think they kind of went, you know, business end of the season.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of grind out a lot of the results.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of made it look like, hold on, it's Ten Hag, one of these kind of rigid managers, but I feel like another year progression. I think a lot of the youngsters coming through as well. You got Garnacho, Pellestri's come back off loan, looking good at preseason.
Sancho-
Amad Diallo coming back off a big season.
Sancho's got to step up as well. He's had a
Sancho's got to
decent
step up.
pre-season.
Anthony's having his second
Yeah.
season, so I agree with you a lot.
And now they got the striker as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like Man United for me just ahead of Arsenal. But I'm going to say this: I expect a 3-way title fight. Arsenal have to be challenging for the league for what they've spent in this window in terms of the players that they've put into that team. Rice, Timber, Havertz. I don't think is a great signing. I think your midfield balance is going to be interesting to see how that develops.
So why have we got to be fighting for it?
Because you guys have improved your
That's the
team again.
natural
You have
progression.
to.
You
You
gotta
have to.
fight.
You love,
Again.
I mean,
But I hear you.
But you love all.
We spent a lot of
spent-
money, but we've done it the wrong way, right? We've flipped our team. We've flipped our whole squad at once. You guys haven't done that. You and Man United have slowly but surely improved your teams bit by bit by bit. Your managers are now coming into them. I don't know, 4th season for your manager, 2nd season. Pochettino's in his 1st season, and it's an entire new team now in terms of what it was last summer to what it is this summer. In fact, we've even signed players last summer that have left this summer, and they've only had they not even involved. That's how mad we are. So the money spent is there. But like PSG, Champions League, you can spend the money, doesn't mean you're going to win. I'm not just saying money spent for you and Man United. I'm also saying squad building and incremental improvements along the way and stability is why you should be contending. And if you were challenging with the league last year, I'm not going to drop you down after adding Rice and adding Timber.
Yeah,
like you
it's a
have to
great
be
point.
challenging again. So I'm going to put you guys in a 3-way title fight. Liverpool, City, Chelsea. Do you remember when we were all in a 3-way? We went to Anfield, all of that. Man City won in the end. I think it was Rodgers' season, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Right.
13,
That's what I'm
14.
expecting.
Right,
That's what I'm expecting.
All right.
Then in 4th, I expect it to be Liverpool. But again, I'd like to move Liverpool higher, but your defense right now is just too shaky. I need to see additions. I'd put us 5th because we ain't got European football. And then after that, it's between Newcastle, Aston Villa, Tottenham for that last spot. It could go either way. At the moment, I'll probably give it to. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, man. Because
you forget names. And then you go, oh, what
because
about them?
Newcastle got Champions League. I think that will take a toll.
Yeah.
Same.
Aston Villa, I agree with you. I think a lot of people are seeing these big name signings. They're thinking, oh, this is going to be incredible. But I think for me, the only one I'm actually excited about is Diaby. I don't think Pau Torres is going to necessarily 100%, hit it in the Prem. We'll see. And who was the other one that they brought in?
Tielemans.
One of three.
Tielemans.
Premier League,
I've had
Good depth.
Yeah, he's decent. He's decent.
To combat that
I've had a
Thursday
case on
night.
Tielemans for a while. So
Since he scored the winner in the FA Cup final against you,
of course, and also
probably.
I just feel like he's got the long shots in him, but defensively, mobility wise. But to be fair, when I saw that cam, you know that I'm not
sick.
gonna lie, my respect.
Grinder.
You should have hard yards. I was like, you know what?
That was some good
I was
PR
like,
there.
barely keep
I was
up.
like, you know what? I'm gonna have to stop cussing these midfielders. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Midfielders are something else.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's between Villa, Newcastle, and Tottenham. I could spin the wheel on that one. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Interesting. I'm going City, just because I think the motivation to do the 4-peat is just going to give them an extra 10%. And if you add 10% onto what they've got already, then we might as well just all pack up and go home. So I think they'll get it. I think, as I said, Haaland gets the golden boot. Arsenal, I've put them second. Again, we're probably going to revise these at Christmas time and do the revised predictions. That will be another video. But I'm saying they have to at least be second for them to have achieved again this season. And what I say is, it was called an overachievement last year when they finished second. Now, anything less than second shows a decline. And like you said, when you add in Rice, Timber, even Havertz, you add in depth and quality, youth, it has to be at least second for Arsenal for it to make for this whole thing to make any sense. And then again, you wouldn't mind another year of building to say the season after, actually, we can win it this year.
Unless it was a three-way title fight that went to the last 2 weeks and Arsenal just came off worse in third, I wouldn't get at them so much.
If it's that close,
Yeah,
then
if it's that close, yeah.
I'll
I mean,
allow it.
the two players we've signed are Premier League experienced, and Havertz.
One's got the right experience, one's got the wrong.
But yes, but still experienced, yeah. And then you look at like United, who have signed.
Mount, experience.
Okay, Mount experience. They brought in Highland now, who's
Hoyland, yeah.
Hoyland, whatever his name is.
A massive upgrade on any of the options they had last year up front. Martial and
Yeah.
Williams.
But also
sure.
not Premier League experienced. Onana not Premier League experienced. You know.
Well, that's So I've got City, Arsenal. I've gone for Liverpool, and I feel
Was that
like
fourth?
the
Third
gap
or
third. I feel like the gap between Liverpool and Arsenal will be closer than Arsenal and City. And again, when it comes down to that last 10 games, I'd back Liverpool to show that form going into it, just because they've been there and done it. I feel like the last 10 games for you are almost tragic. Whereas Liverpool's went from awful. Actually, we're building. Can we get in the top 4? It was a joke that we were even a point away from it, considering where we were down in 8th. So when it
You
gets
guys
to
have done
crunch
this before,
time,
though.
Liverpool can do it. In the last 10 games, they can do it. So actually, it's a toss of a coin between Arsenal and Liverpool. I think that would be tight. 4th place, I've got Manchester United. I think they retain Champions League football. I mean, we're talking about a goalkeeper leaving that was awful, apparently, but he did still win the Golden Glove last year. Plus a couple more goals up front. You're actually looking at a team that's 80 points minimum, I would say, in terms of cut out those 4-0s away to Brighton, 7-0s away at Liverpool, 5-0. You know, they had some heavy beatdowns last year. If you just get rid of them and turn them into draws, they're fighting for the title, really. Because they were good in a lot of other games, and they did get results even though the performance levels weren't incredible. They grinded those out. So having them in 4th, I've gone Newcastle 5th,
Ahead of Chelsea.
Chelsea, then Villa, and then I've put Spurs in 7th, just to complete the European spots. Again, like you, bro, spin of a wheel. I'm backing Newcastle to do what they did last year because they've added. Again, just bought a new left back. They're going to need him in Europe. Livramento.
Right back.
Is it right back?
Yeah. Well, he can play both,
Full
but he's
back,
more of a right back if you want to get the best out of him, I think.
So I think they get better. I think they actually deal with being in the Champions League. Chelsea, Villa, Spurs. I know you said Villa 4th. I think even if they finish in 6th, it's still got to be that shows sustainability in the process. So I wouldn't be mad at them if they finished even 7th.
Are you impressed with
to be
Newcastle's
honest.
additions? Tonali, nice player.
He was needed in midfield. I think that's been a great signing. I think Newcastle, the thing is, they've been adding pieces that they need every time. So I can't
Harvey
really
Barnes.
fault their market in
And this
so
will
far.
give Trippier a kick. This will give Dan Burn a
Yeah.
kick as well. And they were both great last year in large periods.
Mm-hmm.
Again, bro, the whole Villa, Spurs, Chelsea, Newcastle, that could be a spin of a wheel. The Chelsea, I've got them so low because, yes, there have been exciting positives in the pre-season, but I don't think even the biggest Chelsea fan I know, that could tell me what is going to happen this season.
I have us fifth because that's the bare minimum.
Unknown.
That's the bare minimum. I think when you're not in Europe,
And next year,
we
fifth
need-
gets you Champions
fifth
League.
gets you Champions League. For me, fifth. I've put us in the bare minimum position we have
Yeah.
to get. If we don't get fifth, I'll be very disappointed, extremely. But it's based on signings. Like if Tottenham lose Kane, my estimation of Tottenham drops massively in terms of where they could finish. If Chelsea get Caicedo, I get a lot more confident. If Liverpool get a centre back, left side centre back, and another DM,
Yep.
again it goes up. So
Still just
the
under a month
market,
to go.
because the market's still moving, I want to make it very clear on the clips. This is before the
They won't
signing.
clip this bit,
I
though,
want to
will
make
they?
it very clear before the clips. This is before the transfer window has ended. Don't
It's
forget.
an important, it's important to say
Don't
that.
go anywhere.
That's a big disclaimer.
Before you go and start clipping us and pushing us on TikTok,
But
be like,
again,
yo.
they always leave the context out.
those
So
never
I think
Just remember that context,
me
right?
and you have been
I think
context.
regardless of the market, though, mine would fairly stay the same. Maybe Chelsea would be kind of the only movers, but I've got Man City winning the title. I think they've shown 5 out of the last 6 titles, even when teams have kind of re-upped, as you guys are planning to. They've kept them away, so dislodging them is going to be the task. I've got United second. Similarly, I think Ten Hag, I'm expecting improvements. You've got Højlund in. If Amrabat comes in, that's a massive improvement. I'm expecting Onana to be able to allow them to play a much higher line as well. I felt like last season they were started to sit back in a bit of a deep block team. They started to become in the second half of the season. He's going to give them a whole new kind of flexibility, even in terms of just having that, give it back to keeper, boom, into the diagonal, and now you're already on the counter. It just gives them something.
Transitions.
I think you guys will finish third. And I don't think it should be like we were meant to be. I think it will be a close 3-horse race, but City will kind of break away come March. United and Arsenal will kind of falter. Where you lot benefit from it is, I think, the Champions League. I know you said it's your first year back in, you're going to be crying if the music comes on. But you look at the European landscape, outside of Madrid, who are the perennial finalists, and City, who are the dominant team, PSG have destabilised their project. You look at Napoli, had a deep run.
no
Inter
Italian
had a deep
team.
run. There's no real elite teams. Bayern Munich are praying.
Barca struggle under Xavi.
Barcelona are kind of, you don't know what you're going to get from them. Bayern Munich are praying.
So you're saying
You should be-
Champions League.
I'm saying
aim
the
for
semi-finals
aim.
shouldn't be an unrealistic expectation
Yep.
for Arsenal.
Yep.
So for me, I think what will happen is, as you lot start to realise, oh no, we can go deep, the Champions
that's the
League will
distraction.
almost distract you from
Yep.
the league. And I think the problem with Arsenal fans is they'll be so obsessed with the league this year
Yep.
that they won't even be happy with like a semi-final or anything like that.
But they should be.
Nah, we would be.
A deep
Nah, we
run,
would be.
and listen,
Deep run
if
is
you
in
face
very impressive.
Arsenal, if you face City in the final, what better get back? What better? Hey, what you want to So for me, I think that's the reason why Arsenal finished third. Is Europe
I agree with
will
that.
distract them.
I
With
think
the Champions
Arsenal in the
League.
Champions League, at the pace that they play out, pressing from the front, the energy. I don't think most teams in
Trust
Europe
me,
can cope
listen,
with that.
this is a Spurs man talking as well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm trying to see this from a hater's
Saka
aspect. I'm
under the lights.
I can't deny. And the thing with Arteta is he actually has learned how to tactically make it flexible.
Yeah.
Some games we need to be resilient. Cool. Back 5,
Yeah.
little
Be
party.
smiling.
Martinelli under the lights. First season under the lights. First season under the lights, you know.
Anyway.
First time.
Let me not get you lot two guys. Let me not get you two
No
guys.
fear.
I think Liverpool will finish fourth. I think we'll see an improvement. The midfield will be an addition as well. I think you lot will finish fourth. Chelsea, I would have had fourth had they had a better goalkeeper, though. I think your defence, you've still got issues to sort out. But I do think you will look like a much better team than you did last year. Chelsea fifth, getting the Champions League. If you fix the keeper, people are sleeping on Poch. A group of under 24s
Definitely,
under
100%.
Pochettino.
Yep.
I've seen this
Scary.
before, trust me.
Southampton.
He can make that into a tight ship, and the difference with what he had at Spurs and here, they're going to back him to the hills.
Yeah.
They're going to give him ambition, and what he wants to do, I think he will achieve. So
Yeah.
Chelsea, little horse season. Come Champions League, 5th place, that's all
Pony
they've got to worry
settings,
about.
yeah.
And then
Hopefully a
6th
cup.
place, as you
need a
said
cup.
earlier, I think Newcastle Champions League will impact them. I don't know if they have the depth in their squad to compete with that on all fronts. But listen, they get Europa League, nice little quarter-final run in the Champions League. That's a good season.
that will do, yeah.
And Spurs 7th.
Okay, ahead of Villa.
Ahead of Villa. I think
because
Villa
you've got
will
no
get all
European
the
football.
hype.
Yeah.
By the way,
we've got
can I
no
just
European
say-
football. We've got a manager that's just coming in with a lot of signings that are kind of project signings, if you like. So for this year, it's a case of
Have
build
fun.
your identity,
Can I ask you,
build your culture,
just
play
quickly
your
before
attacking football.
what do you think of your new manager? Like,
To be fair, at first I was kind of like, "Oh, who's this X Factor?" I don't know much about him. I know he's been at Celtic. He was coaching in Asia before that, so it was kind of like an unknown factor, if you like. But as the weeks are going by, he's saying all the right things. The friendlies I'm seeing were seeming like we're trying to play the right ways. He switched to a back four straight away as well, and he's talking with conviction. I said immediately when a new manager comes in, the one thing he's got to do is he's got to let you lot know, I'm the leader. You will follow my lead. And for me, it doesn't matter about your stature. You have to have that aura about you. You can't have players questioning. I felt like that's what happened with Potter last year. He kind of came in with like I'm happy to be here at Chelsea. And the players are like, yo, get this guy out of here, man. We don't even respect this. He's come in, he's talking the right way, he's acting the right way, he's coaching the right way. And it seems like even listening to Maddison at the TNT event yesterday, all the players are buying in. Even Harry Kane, I'm hearing, might be considering, hey, if you lot ain't signed me by the new season, I'm buying into Andrew's project for a year. So for me, I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. It's just a case of now let's see what happens on the pitch, to be fair. And the thing is, I've said no European football, no expectations. This is the year to kind of let's
so
see.
this is a
what you can
perfect
do.
year. It's a perfect year for you lot.
100%. We're almost out of the limelight. As you lot have all said, you
are.
lot have all got Villa ahead of us. We're expected.
I don't
eighth.
have Villa. I don't have Villa.
We're all expected 8th in everyone's book. So for me, it's like if we can have a lovely domestic cup run, sneak into the Europa League, maybe 5th place, snatch it from them.
Yeah.
Fantastic season.
And then you got a Brighton bottom
This
of the
is what
top
I was
10.
going to say. No one has mentioned Brighton. They
I
finished
think so.
sixth last
So we've got to give Brighton their flowers
Give
because they
them
play
some
some
credit.
beautiful football. I think Europa League will be a challenge to do with Premier League. Listen, they play some brilliant football, but I expect them because, like I said, if we don't leave with Caicedo and we left with Sanchez, I've said it on Twitter, we've left with chips and no fish from the seaside. It's crazy.
I like that one.
It's wild.
The Seagulls stolen.
You can't be doing that. Do you know what I mean? You have to leave with the main course.
Yeah.
They lost McAllister. I think that's crucial.
Yep.
Obviously, Billy Gilmore's going to step in. I think he's a very good player, but there is a drop off until he proves otherwise. They've lost Colwell. He was a big thing for them. Performance at the Emirates was insane. But again, they got Webster, they got Dunk. Steele's doing it. I think they just a very, very good team to watch. Very nice team, but they got other things to watch now. And I think they're going to want to go deep in Europa. I think West Ham winning the Conference League has inspired a lot of teams to take Europe very seriously. Europe qualifies you for Champions. Europa League qualifies you for Champions League. Conference League qualifies you for Europa League. You can have a terrible Premier League season like West Ham did, and you can save it with a trophy and an open tour bus at Stratford and everything that comes with it. And you don't even need to do the 38 game thing. And I think English teams are starting to clock. We're actually really good. We play great football. We got great scouting now. We got depth. We got money. Why should Brighton and Aston Villa be resting players in the conference in Europa League when they have got more money than some of the top teams in other leagues? They're going to take these things seriously. I think that will hamper their Premier League a little bit. Nice little cozy 8th place, top 10 finish.
All right. Interesting. Let us know what you think. Do you know what the funny thing is? We probably all got it wrong.
Yeah. Facts.
Oh, yeah.
More than you can believe.
More than you
We
believe.
probably all got it wrong. But let us know what you
got
think
it
your
right,
top
yeah,
6
no
is going to be. If we got it right, we're definitely coming back to this clip.
Trust.
But of course, we'll be clipped up and passed around. Right, anyway, massive shout out to BH Stricto again. Thank you for your knowledge today, bro. Appreciate it, man. Clap yourself, do your thing. Man, no, I love it, bro. I love it. I love it.
You don't back
I love
yourself.
it. No,
You don't
listen.
back yourself, who will?
Exactly.
That's too late now.
What's the point? No. What's the point though? What is the point if you don't
100%.
believe in it? I always say, this is literally my thing. Like, what's the point?
This is a quality end
with you.
screen, motivational. Yeah,
Trust me.
go on.
Braveheart. Matisse, thank you very much, as always. Yeah.
I'm following suit.
Hey.
And big up to Fuad as well for always chipping in with the knowledge.
That's got to be your thing this season. Tiger Cup winners. Like the Power Rangers.
Like, in dodgeball. Love it. Right, we'll be back soon with another roundtable debate for you. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Lots of good stuff happening. We'll see you soon.